Good evening, welcome back to Visionary Fragrances. My name's George. Today we're going to talk about 5 great leather based fragrances, and at the end I will tell you my recommendation for these 5 and which one I think you should buy. That's going to be based around price, performance and the overall quality of the scent. So if you're not very familiar with leather based fragrances, then this video is going to be great for you. And also if you're looking to buy a new leather fragrance, then stay tuned and we're going to talk about 5 great leather fragrances. Now, leather fragrances tend to be darker, heavier scents. They tend to be good for formal occasions. You tend to wear them more in the colder weather, in the winter. Perhaps when you're wearing a nice suit, you want to feel bold, you want to feel confident, you want to attract attention to yourself. I wouldn't recommend wearing a leather fragrance when you're just lazing around the house, wearing comfortable gym clothes, for example. I find leather fragrances work really well when you go into a formal occasion, when you're trying to impress someone and you want to stand out. I'm going to show you 5 fragrances now that are all based around leather, and they're going to start from relatively cheap, affordable, and we're going to have some ones that are more expensive as well to suit everyone's price range. So the first one I want to show you, and this would be out of the 5 my least favourite, is Montale's Oud Leather. Now, Montale's Oud Leather contains leather, oud, saffron and ambergris as some of the main notes. And this for me is a very good everyday leather, if you like. It's relatively affordable. I think I paid around £55 for this 100ml bottle, so it's relatively affordable, especially for a Montale. It's powerful scent, so the majority of these fragrances and leather fragrances in general are very good performers. They're going to last 6 to 8 hours on your skin, they're going to project out and they're going to get you noticed. But the issue that I have with Montale's Oud Leather is I find it to be quite dry, because you're mixing leather with oud, with saffron, and there's no sweetness in there. I like my leather fragrances to be mixed with maybe a spicy note like cardamom, cinnamon, or a fruity note like raspberry or plum. But I find Montale's Oud Leather to be a bit too dry for me. But if you're looking for a basic leather fragrance with good performance, then this would be a good choice. This is Montale's Oud Leather. Now, this next one is not just a leather fragrance. It's got leather as one of the notes, but it's not a leather dominant fragrance. Now, when I first tried this, it's a new release from this year. When I first tried it, I was quite surprised with the scent profile, because I tried the original and it was nice. It was a generic designer fragrance, and so I didn't expect this to be as different and as challenging as it is. So this one is Herrera Bad Boy Parfum. Now, like I said, it's a new release for this year. I've got the original EDT version, which is a very nice designer fragrance. It's you know, fresh, spicy, it's sweet, and it's very nice. You know, people are going to enjoy it. It's quite long lasting. But this is very different because this contains cannabis, grapefruit and leather. So straight off the top you get a burst of green aromatic cannabis mixed with a nice zesty grapefruit, and then in the base you've got some heavier dirty notes like leather, you've got vetiver, there's probably some tobacco in there as well, but it's not listed in the note breakdown. But what I think is great about this fragrance is it's very challenging, and it's going in a different direction to a lot of the other mainstream releases over the last couple of years. A very generic blue, they're made for everyone, whereas this is not made for everyone. A lot of people aren't gonna smell this and instantly go, this smells nice. This is for someone who wants to smell different, someone who wants a slightly more challenging scent. But where I find this really shines well is going on a night out. If you're going any time of the year, going on a night out for a few drinks with your friends, going to a bar, going to a club, this works really well because it's got a slight animalistic style to it. You know, you're going to smell dirty, but in a good way. Smell like cannabis, like leather, like tobacco. So if you're looking for something slightly more challenging in the designer market, new release, go for this one. Herrera Bad Boy Parfum. Okay, number 3, we're going to the house of Nishane, Niche House. This is Nishane Suede Saffran. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but please correct me if I'm not. Now the notes are actually on the bottle for this one, so you've got ambrette seed, saffron, ginger, musk and leather. Now this is a very dark, rich, heavy scent, so it's an extrait de Parfum concentration, so it's going to be thick, it's going to be heavy. It doesn't necessarily project out that much, but it's going to stay on your skin for a long time. You're talking 12 hours, this is still going to be on your skin. And like I said, this smells very luxury, this smells rich, it smells expensive. So if you're looking for a dark, mysterious fragrance that's got the notes of leather, suede, ginger, then Nishane Suede Saffron is a great option. Okay, down to the final two, and in number 2 we've got Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Now what I really like about Ombre Leather is you've got the base note of leather, but you're also mixing that with cardamom, which gives it a real spicy, sweet touch to it. As I was talking to you earlier about the Montale's Oud leather, it was a bit too dry for me, but what Tom Ford does with Ombre Leather, mixes the leather with cardamom and it adds a fresh, spicy, sweet touch to it, which is really great. Now another great thing about the Ombre Leather is it's a lot more affordable than Tuscan leather, for example, and it doesn't smell too dissimilar. It's made by the same house, so you're going to get the Tom Ford DNA, the Tom Ford quality, but it's about half the price of Tuscan leather and it smells very similar. Whereas Tuscan leather is, I would say, a unisex fragrance, I would say that Ombre Leather leans slightly more masculine, and I don't know if as a woman you'd be able to pull it off. I'm sure some women can, but I would say Tuscan leather is more of a unisex fragrance and Ombre Leather is a masculine fragrance. So if you like Tuscan leather but you're looking for something slightly more affordable, then I would go with Ombre Leather by Tom Ford. Okay, number 1, my favourite leather fragrance in my collection and that I've tried, and I'm sure you saw this coming. This is Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. Now you can see how much I love this because I bought the biggest size bottle, and I do really enjoy Tuscan Leather. When I first tried it, I was blown away at the sweet raspberry, the leather, the animalistic notes to it, and it is really beautiful. Tuscan Leather will last easily 10 hours. It's an EDP concentration, I believe, but it will last a long time on your skin. It will push out, it will project, and it will get you noticed. Now, I'm sure you've heard the phrase Tom Ford Tuscan Leather smells like a brick. It was from a rapper, Drake said it in one of his songs, and you want to know if it smells like cocaine? No. If you're searching for that smell, when you spray it on your arm or your hand and you're searching for it, yes, it's there and you could sort of see the similarities and pick it up. But if you get Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford and you're wearing it out, people are not going to think that you are smell like cocaine. They're going to think you're smelling rich, expensive, like a confident man or woman, and you're going to smell very luxurious. First spray Tuscan Leather on, you're hit with this sweet raspberry jam type scent, and then you've got the nice leather notes at the bottom, and after about half an hour they blend perfectly together, so you've got the leather with a sweet raspberry touch. And for me, it's my favourite leather fragrance that I've tried. I have heard that Memo Italian leather is quite similar to Tuscan leather, but I've not tried Italian leather, so I didn't want to include it in this list. I'm going to put a picture of the Memo Italian leather somewhere around here, and if you've tried it and it's very similar to Tuscan leather or Ombre Leather for that matter, then please let me know, because I'd like to try it. For me, Tuscan Leather is a special occasion fragrance. It's a formal fragrance when I'm wanting to go somewhere, make an impression, when I'm dressed in nice clothes, when I want to stand out and get some attention, I will wear Tuscan Leather. I actually wore it to a barbecue in the summer. It worked really well, and it was a hot day, but we were outside and it just worked really well in that situation. So my favourite leather fragrance that I've tried so far, and one that I would recommend to you if you can afford it, it's an expensive fragrance, is Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. Guys, that was 5 leather fragrances that we've just spoke about, but I want to give you my recommendations. If I could only choose one to recommend you to buy, which one is it going to be? Now, it's not going to be Tuscan Leather, because I think Tuscan Leather is, whilst it's an amazing fragrance, it's on the pricier side, and I can't recommend to you to go and spend £300 on 100ml of Tuscan Leather. So I'm going to recommend you out of these 5, Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I think because of the similarities to Tuscan leather, it is very similar and it's half the price, so you're getting a fantastic high quality fragrance for a decent price. So out of the 5 we spoke about, I'm going to recommend you Tom Ford Ombre Leather, but I would like you to try the designer fragrance Herrera Bad Boy Parfum, because it's so interesting, it's different, and if you're looking for something that's out there, you want to stand out, you don't want to wear a generic blue fragrance, then please try this because it's brilliant. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you stayed with me for these 5 fragrances, then please like this video and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all back here in a few days for the next one. Take care.